853 days since Black Ops 3 was released, and Treyarch, the great developers that they are still supporting this game. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And today I wanted to talk about the greatness of Treyarch. As you know, like the title speaks for itself. Like I said, it's been 853 days since Black Ops 3 has been released. That's basically 2.5 years. And if you didn't know, they added a new sniper called the XPR-50, and they added Winter Redwood. And I know these are minor changes, but it still goes to show that they are still supporting and updating their game. Like I said, that's basically 2.5 years. Their new game, which is supposedly Black Ops 4, you know, like we already know, is coming out in 8 months. And they're still supporting their old game. The last game that they made was 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. What other development team that does that? Like, what other team has more than one game? Like, you can talk about, you know, Fortnite and, like, you know, Epic Games or whatever, and like none of their games are on the scale. Like, I don't even know if they have any other games. They probably do, but none of their other games are on the scale of Fortnite or on the scale of Call of Duty. And you know, they only have one game to support, if you get what I'm saying. And you can say, yes, they're making new stuff for the game, but like the base game is already there, and all they're doing is adding cosmetic stuff. And you know, like Treyarch, they're adding, you know, new maps and, you know, new guns and stuff like that. You know, I get you know, Epic is adding new maps and not new maps. I get they're adding new guns and, you know, new skins and this and that. But you also have to remember that Treyarch is making a whole nother game. And, you know, I'm assuming that Treyarch has a bigger development team, because, you know, Activision, and, you know, like, you know, Activision is a AAA company. You know, it's like, it's a billionaire company. Call of Duty is a AAA title, right? I know Fortnite, they probably have more players playing right now, but I feel like Call of Duty, like, they still have a bigger fan base, if you get what I'm saying. Although a lot of the fan base has moved over to Fortnite. But anyway, Treyarch, you know, their new game is coming out in like 8 months ish, and they're still creating and supporting and upgrading their old game that came out almost 3 years ago. And, you know, like I said, they probably do have a bigger development team, but at the end of the day, they're still supporting their old game. And I remember hearing a rumor about David Vonderhaar not wanting supply drops in Black Ops 3, but, you know, in the end, they still got put in the game, because at the end of the day, Activision does have the final word, if you want to call it that. But this shows that a guy like him actually gives a shit about the community after hearing the backlash. Because remember, when the supply drops came out in Advanced Warfare, you know, everybody didn't really figure out that they were, like, you know, gambling and, you know, stuff like that, until I think it was like Infinite Warfare, if you want to call it that, or even Black Ops 3. And it's just like holy, you know what I mean? Like they, you know, they turned out to not be a good thing, right? Because at the end of the day, you're basically throwing away money. And a lot of the guns in, you know, Infinite Warfare, and, you know, like, not necessarily Black Ops 3, because none of the DLC guns are necessarily pay to win. But I know in Infinite Warfare, you know, there was a certain variant. In Advanced Warfare, you know, everybody wanted this certain AK-12 or something like that. It was more to the end of Advanced Warfare when everybody started realizing, like, okay, I can pay and possibly get this gun. And then that was when the whole, you know, backlash thing started coming out. Everybody said, oh, you know, fuck supply drops and this and that, whatever. And Dave Vonderhaar saw the backlash that they got, and, you know, he spoke up and said, I don't want supply drops in my game, because the community doesn't want supply drops, or the community doesn't want this, or the community doesn't want that. And that, you know, that's why I say Treyarch is the best development team, if we're being honest. You know, like, for the longest time I thought it was Infinity Ward. You know, I thought Infinity Ward was the best development team, and, you know, nobody else came close. But I feel like at the bottom is Sledgehammer, because of, you know, Advanced Warfare and World War II. And then I feel like Infinity Ward has taken a second place to Treyarch, just because Treyarch, you know, they've been supporting their game. I feel like Treyarch was underappreciated during the Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 era, and then when Black Ops 3 came out, I feel like they overtook Infinity Ward as being the best developer. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share my thoughts on this matter. As always, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.